Man, listen. We're here again. Welcome. I'm sincere, and listen, we're gonna have a conversation today, guys. Man, listen, our man is down. Our man is down bad. So listen, today we're talking about Bishop Whitehead. Man, listen. They say when it rains, it pours. They say when it rains, it pours. Here we are, 5 months ago. Bishop Whitehead, one of the flashiest bishops or clergymen that's around here. He was robbed, man. He was robbed. He was robbed 5 months ago, and man, this man's been dealing with some stuff. And so today we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have a conversation about what's happening with him. Now, guess what? Those three-letter boys are on him. The FBI. So now they want a piece too. So first we had him getting robbed in the middle of a live stream, right? Then we had him having an altercation with someone in the clergy. I don't know if it was someone in the church that came in, interrupted his service, and then he ended up giving her a two-piece, So we had that happen. And then now we have a situation where now the FBI is coming after him, and now they're saying that he scammed some of the parishioners out of some money, man. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna drop the link, and we're gonna talk about it. You guys are gonna tell me what y'all know about it, because you know what, I'm not too familiar with him, and we're gonna have a conversation. This is a crowdsourcing platform, and I believe that you don't have to know everything. All you need is a community to plug into that knows plenty or knows enough, right? So I'm going to introduce one of the gentlemen to come up, and he's going to speak about how he would perceive this from the outside in, as someone who's not 100% a part of the community, but someone who can identify with maybe the external perspective of what it looks like when they say someone from a church is guilty or is being accused of scamming his parishioners, And so I am going to introduce someone who's a brother to the channel. Here we are, Mr. The Intentional Millionaire. Salute. How's it going?
What is going on, Sim? How is it going?
Man.
Salute and welcome to everyone in the chat. And man, I got to say, this is an interesting subject here. So I'm looking forward to, having a discussion. I don't know all the details, but this is something that we definitely need to talk about.
Man, we're going to talk about it. I mean, I'm not an expert on this guy, but I do know, man. Listen, this year has been a rough year for our brother right here, And what I know is that, they say that, you don't want to get kicked when you're down. So it just seems like he's down right now. And maybe we're not really giving him the human consideration that he deserves, And so today we're going to drop the link. I want to hear what you all have to say about it, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and get to it. Listen, man. So what's your thoughts? Tim, on the idea of pastors having like jets and Rolls Royces and mansions? Do you think that it makes sense for someone who's leading a congregation to be living an opulent lifestyle? What's your thought on that?
So I have no problem with that, because I think that they had to have some level of leadership to get there, whether good, bad, or indifferent. The thing about it is, we in a society where if you can influence, then you can have that type of lifestyle. But I will say my challenge is this, though. It's okay for him to have, but the question always come from me is, how is the other people in the congregation living? Because if he has that and everybody else is suffering in the congregation, then that's a problem. That's an issue. Because the problem I see a lot of times, at least from my perspective, is some people get so inundated with the spiritual walk of the church, and they put so much time into the church, they forget about their own household. And so I think that they got to sit down and understand where the priorities fall and where their priorities lay. And then from there, they got to go back and then re-identify. But I think it's the pastor's duty and responsibility to help their congregation through that process. And I think if they, they live in lavish and everybody's suffering, that's pose an issue. But in the same token, I think if they live in lavish and the congregation is living lavish, I think that's a win-win scenario. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, it's something that I'm not super familiar with. I understand that, they say that God has blessed me. He has blessed me with the opportunity for me to lead men. And, God does not want his children living a lackluster lifestyle, right? And so it's only right for him to be a reflection of what's possible, right? But I agree with you. It's not something that should be happening at the cost of other people not having, right? Especially the parishioners, right? They should not be sacrificing on their household needs in order for them to be able to give to the congregation and give to the church, right? And, like the whole idea of giving 10% to the church and giving to the organization, your place of faith is something that's taught, from a biblical standpoint. And I'm not a heavy biblical person, but I can say that, it's something that I've been hearing for a good portion of my life. And I'd say that there's a significant amount of thought, and I'd say even like the twisting of words that leads people into a guilty place and saying, hey, listen, if you really care about the place that you want to be in the world, or where you want to be with God, you make sure that you give to him today in order for him to bless you tomorrow. Right. So let's get to it. Right, man. Matter of fact, who do we have in the chat? So salute. So we have the lioness of videography, Sec Amethyst. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Salute to Ann Allen. How's it going, Ann Allen? Ann Allen 007. She's a content creator in addition to the lioness of videography. Take a look at here we go. Check out the lioness of videography. She's in school. I want to say she just graduated here last week, a couple of weeks ago. So she just graduated from school. And so congratulations to her. She's a fellow content creator. And so she is here with us today. Salute to her. Take a look at her channel, the lioness of videography, Sec Amethyst. Then we have N. Allen 007, man. N. Allen is a fellow content creator, also a masterminder. And N. Allen, she tells the funniest stories about her interactions. I could only imagine the stories that she could tell us about her interactions with people at the pharmacy. She's a pharmacist, as you can see right there, 007 RX. She's a pharmacist, and she has a great channel, very funny stories. I'm always curious when I go to the pharmacy myself. I'm always intrigued by how connected people are to the drugs. I gotta get my meds. And I'm not really familiar with how that lifestyle is with like relying on medicine. So I could only imagine that like the dependency that people have with their meds, and if they can't get them, then they end up worrying and being stressed out, right? So what is
violent,
man? I mean, liable to get violent, right? So if someone thinks that, someone believes that the drugs or the meds that they're on help them to keep them calm and help to keep them at bay, so I can see how they become codependent and they feel like they can't live without them. So we had Sec Amethyst saying hello to Tim, and then we had her saying hello to N. Allen, and Allen saying salute to an Intentional Millionaire. And so we have the family. She says, okay, good. Where the scholarships at? Here we go. Where's it? Exactly, right? So here she is. Sec Amethyst is saying, she says, okay, it says it's good for the Jets, right? But where are the scholarships at, right? Where's rebuilding the community? Where's the free therapy session for members, right? Those are really good questions, right? Because if you're contributing to an organization on a weekly basis, you're expecting something in return. I've heard of situations where people have went to the church in order for them to get assistance with paying some of their bills. Maybe they're in a transition phase from one job to another, and there've been like some guilt tripping that said, hey, listen, how long are you going to be out of work? Because we can't afford to keep on paying your bill. You know, we need you to go ahead and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Get it together over there, right? Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Second, Emetha said, she said, I just graduated. How do you know that? Come on now. I know a little bit. I'm out here ninja watching. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I was going to say shout out to the Linus of Videography and Ian Allen. Shout out. Welcome everyone in the chat. But how do we know? Because we the finance bros and we share information. And they told me you graduated. So I let everyone know that I know.
There we go. Right there. So, I mean, we keep our ear to the streets out here. You know, we know you just got that paperwork, lady.
We know you got that paper. You walking, so you about to do like the pastor.
Listen, living to the fullest out here, right? All right, she says you just graduated. And Alan says, yeah, you're absolutely right. Listen, I could only imagine the stories you can tell about how dependent they are on those meds, man. It's something right there, right? So check it out. So here we go. We're gonna talk about our boy. Man, listen, down bad. Our boy's down bad. Listen, here we go. So this chat. Let me see, Lord. All right, here we go. What does he say? He says, man, it's not about me being flashy, right? He says it's about me purchasing what I want. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want, right? It's my prerogative, he says, it's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase. Now this is a man. Oh man, this is a man that's being supported by the congregation. He says that it's his prerogative. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want. Man, listen. It is a struggle out here. Listen, we're going into a recession. Our man is down bad right now, man. 5 months ago, we said it. Here we go. What did they say? What did they say? Oh, man. They said, this is what they said. 5 months ago, they said, man, since footage was released right here, this is from July the 27th, right? This is what it says. Footage was released Thursday, marked with a timestamp on Sunday of 11:05, minutes before the heist, as the leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries shows the three suspects walking onto the sidewalk with the hoods pulled up and their faces covered, right? They said our man right here, Bishop Whitehead, was in the middle of the sermon, right? The leaders of Tomorrow, International Ministries in Canarsie, 11:14, when the trio burst in, right? Oh man, here we go. Here goes the bad boys right here. Look at them, man. Broad daylight. They're looking at the cameras. They said, man, listen, we got us one. Right? It says the thieves made off with the treasure trove totaling $1,060,000, a $75,000 Rolex, two watches, a $75,000 Rolex, a $75,000 Caviar watch, $25,000 Episcopal ruby and diamond ring, 25,000 Episcopal diamond ring, a $25,000 pair of earrings, $20,000 diamond and emerald cross, $20,000 Episcopal ring and $20,000 Episcopal cross, and a $10,000 Episcopal cross, gold cross. And that's what they say. It says they then fled in a white Mercedes, right? And the church leader spotted them changing their clothes in the car as he tried to run after them, to no avail, right? So this man chases down the people who are coming after him, man. 3 robbers, $1 million. $1 million in valuable jewelry, right? Now, what's the likelihood, Tim? You're wearing $1 million in jewelry in broad daylight at your church. At your church. Now it's one thing if you're going to like a show and you're going to be performing, but to wear $1 million in jewelry, that's a wild thing, right? Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about that? $1 million.
Well, I think it's one of those things where this is where we go wrong as a community, because we flash in the wrong places. And the thing, it sounds like to me, and I don't know, just my assumption based on the article, it just sounds like that it was the big head where I can do what I want to do, and because I'm in the church, that means that I'm protected. So I think that was part of it. Also, in the other side of that, this also could be a publicity stunt. It could be that, he had some people to kind of make it look like, a certain situation for relevance. And then to make the congregation feel sorry for him so they can donate more. So it's those type of things you just don't really know, but it always leads to question when you sit down and just think about from a logical standpoint that don't make sense. The fact that he had 2 watches, he had a lot of gold chains on, that just always sounds skeptical. Now, if he had 1 watch, he had 1 gold chain, he had like 3 or 4 rings. To me, it's I don't know, it's just far-fetched. Now, I don't know if he had that stuff on him or did he have the extra watches maybe in his study. That I don't know. But to me, it just sounds very far-fetched. And now I still ask the question, but where is this congregation at? That's what I want to know.
Man, our man was down bad, man. $1 million. $1 million. Look at that, guys. $75,000, $75,000, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 10,000, 10,000. I mean, it's like a rapper, man. He's like a socialite. He's flashy for who? He's flashy for Jesus. He's flashing for Jesus. Listen, man. What's really interesting is that so they went after the guys, right? So they went after the guys to try to chase them down, right? They went after the guys, and this is the thing, right? What's sad is and unfortunate is that sometimes your past will come up at the wrong times, right? So this is what they said, right? They said Whitehead, who's cozy with the mayor, Eric Adams, and previously did 5 years in prison for identity fraud and grand larceny, insisted on Instagram that his public displays of wealth didn't lead to a costly robbery, right? So here he is riding around in Rolls Royces. He's living an opulent, projected life in front of the church. And this is what he tells us. He tells us this. He tells us, listen, he says, it's not about me being flashy, right? It's not about me being flashy. It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase. That's what he tells us. He tells us I can buy whatever I want. And at the end of the day, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that these guys would target me for $1 million worth of assets. Now, does it make sense? Because I'd say that whenever people are flashing, look at Kim Kardashian, right? Look at Kim Kardashian. They spotted her based upon where she was going into at the building when she was in Paris. The guys knew. They said, hey, listen, we know how to find these people who are flashy online. So now our focus can be, let's see where they're staying at when they come here, and then we're going to prey on them and look for an opportunity. And so she was robbed the same exact way because of Instagram. Instagram told the people where she was staying at, and they knew she was wearing that big diamond ring. I don't know if you remember, Tim. Her ring was like as big as the hole right there on my finger. Walking around with a ring like that, and you can't expect people to not want to prey on you, And I think that growing up in tough circumstances has taught me that you should always think about how maybe people who are a little bit less honest might be considering what you're doing, and then consider how they could take advantage of you, right? So I think it's wild. Do you think that, in your opinion, do you think that Instagram could be a cause to Bishop Whitehead getting robbed back in July?
I don't say it's a cause. I say it makes the opportunity easier, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the cause.
Okay, all right. So you say it's not the cause. Now, let me ask you a question now, right? With that said, now let's check it out, right? So here we are. We have our guy right here. He's wearing Fendi. He's got a Fendi suit jacket. He's got a Fendi collared shirt. If we look at those, look at his hands. I mean, come on, man. Give the man some credit, man. He's a man of the cloth. He's a man of the cloth. And listen, if we look, oh man, this thing is fighting me right now. If we look right here, look what he's standing next to, Tim. I don't know if you can tell what that is, Tim.
It looked like a Bentley.
Nah, man, that's a Rolls Royce Culligan.
Okay,
that's a $300,000 SUV right there. Rolls Royce, man. Listen, live in it. Look at the Cuban links, man. I say Cubans probably. Let's see, what do they say the Cubans were? Cubans probably worth. Let's see, necklace. Oh, the Cubans are not even. It's not even here. I don't even see the Cuban link here. Oh man. Listen, my camera. Hold on, Tim. My camera's overheating over here. But yeah, give me a second. Let's go to the chat real quick. We'll go to the chat.
Well, while you doing that, I can add a comment to this as well. So the thing that's concerning to me, why I personally don't think it is real, is because if they got robbed, then how all of a sudden now they chasing them? So that tells me one or two things. If they chasing them and they got robbed with firearms, that means that they retaliating with firearms. So my question then become, why do they have guns in the church? Or they just chase them with their bare hands? See, it doesn't make sense. And I don't know nothing about this story. I just know that those are questions that come to mind that, raise red flags. Why I think it's it sounds made up. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so give me 2 seconds. I'm getting my camera back up. So yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. And listen, our camera is acting up. We are gonna build it as we fly it over here. But yeah, so it's a really interesting thing, right? And here we go, right here. So feds arrest 2 men in the robbery of flashy bishop. That's what they said, right? That's so this is what they say. He's outside the federal courtroom, right? Look at that car, man. Look at that car. Man, listen, living the life, Tim. You're living wrong, Tim. You're living wrong, man. All you got to do is just count on your people, man. It's give me a second, guys. Give me a second. The camera's acting up. But yeah, so this is our boy right here. This is our boy. He's that's him on his way inside after these guys have been arraigned. And he's on his way inside in order for him to make sure that justice is served. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it at all, honestly. I think that he should get the opportunity. Give me a second, Tim. This is we got struggle streaming over here, building it as we fly it. Here we go already live. Let me see. I don't want to. Let's go to the chat. We're gonna go to the chat real quick, Tim. Let's go to the chat.
So shout out to Jay Bones is in the building. What is going on, Jay Bones? Salute. Welcome. We also got Miss Randy K in the building. What is going on, Miss Randy? How's it going? And we got a couple of comments. So what we got? So the Linus of videographer say this. So this pastor is living in the flesh. Exactly. And she also said the pastor had to have a stick on him. Right. That's what I was saying. They had to rob him at gunpoint, but I'm trying to figure out how they end up chasing him. So that's what it sounds really kind of
Yeah,
suspect
how
to
do you
me.
chase somebody without a gun, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I mean they got a gun and you don't have a gun. Oh, hold up. I think we're back. You're struggling over here. All right, hold on. Yeah, so how do you chase somebody without a gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And almost there, almost there. So what else do we have? We have uh that's what she said, right? And Alan says that she believed that she believes that he faked the robbery. Yeah, right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Man, listen, I mean, we'd have to find out. We had to find out what kind of insurance policy you had. We had to see what kind of policy you had. That camera was not supposed to overheat. We had to see what kind of policy you had. I'm almost there, man. Let me get my I'm pulling my focus right now. And let me get this down here. 2 seconds. But yeah, Tim, let me see. I could let me continue to pull up the struggle streaming. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. She thinks that he faked it. What did she say? She says, all I hear is scholarship money, daycare, after school care, rental assistance. Listen, for real, right? Like, is there an expectation for him to give to his people at a certain level? There we go. I think we're back. You know, what do you think, Tim? Do you think this is an expectation for him to give? I mean, I wish.
Well,
I drove a Rolls Royce, man.
see, so here's my answer to that. My answer to that is not his expectation. This is why people as individuals got to know what's priority. Because what ends up happening, people start to idolize their pastors in the church, and they start to lose their own disconnect in their own household with their own family. So I think that when you go back to the and not to make this a spiritual conversation, but when you go back to the Bible, that's not the direction that it points you. You supposed to first provide and take care and be the blessings and the covenant for your household, and the church just supposed to be a byproduct for you to have communion with other like-minded people, but not make that the priority over family. Because you were supposed to be responsible for your own spiritual makeup in your own household as the man. And then the woman is supposed to support that, with her prayer for him as the lead. But, that's the spiritual, biblical perspective. So, but as it relates to the pastor, I think this is where people go wrong, because I think they put too much emphasis on the pastor, and they still forget that the pastor is human. And the thing is, if the pastor hasn't been freed from his own shortcomings, then he's going to falter at some point. So we got to sit back and think about, ultimately, if he do fall, one, what is that puts me? And then secondly, we got to consider, if we putting all our money into the church, then the question then become, how is my life becoming better financially? See, so you don't, because what most people think is they think that you're supposed to just do one thing real good and let all the other things falter. So, for example, you talk about spirituality, fitness, health, and mental. Most people get so focused in one area and they forget about the other 3 or 4.
Yep.
So the goal is all 4 should be operating and working all the same. If you create a discipline in one area, you can do it in all the others. The problem is you just got to pay attention to it and work at it. So that's what I would say to that.
Give me Tim. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I don't know why it says my audio was removed. Can you hear me still? Yes.
I can hear you.
All
I
right,
can hear you.
We're good. All right, so we're good. All right, man. Listen. Struggle streaming. Look, I'm gonna drop the link. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Listen, our boy is down bad, man. Listen, I haven't even got to the point. Listen, I want to get to it, man. Listen, you get robbed in you get robbed in July. Our man got robbed in July, right? And let's get back here. Right? He gets robbed in July. Here we go. They caught the guys, right? He says the two men were arrested by federal authorities Wednesday, right? Wednesday, September the 28th. So almost a whole 2 months, right? A whole 2 months this comes out. They say Jawan Anderson and Saquon Pollock, both 23, were picked up in the Bed-Stuy, the Bedford-Stuy event, and hit with federal robbery charges for the July 24th stick-up on Bishop Lamor Whitehead. Let me see. Oh, man, let's see. We are struggling. Listen, man, and 2 months later, right? It says armed robbery is an intolerable crime, but to commit such an act during a religious service is incomprehensible, right? It's incomprehensible. I mean, the gall, right? So to even think that these guys would attack the man of faith, man, attack the man of faith, the man of the cloth, man. Listen, they came after that guy. God, listen, he's an innocent guy. He's innocent, man. I want you guys to see, man, this guy lives it, man. Listen, if I could talk about someone who's living the life, he's living the life, man. I mean, can we feel bad for this guy? I don't know. It's difficult for me to feel bad for him. It's difficult. This guy's got a mansion. I mean, he's living the life. He's living the life. I want you guys to see his church, man. His church. What did you say, Tim, earlier? What did you say about him, about how people live, how people go to church and they have these pastors who are giving all this money? And what did we say about how they're living?
Yeah, but the pastors living phenomenal, but they struggling,
right?
And and they'll take their last and give to the church. They'll risk getting their own lights cut off just to make sure they pay for the church.
Listen. You see, y'all heard Tim say it. Listen, look at that house right there, man. Listen, man, he's living good. Look at that house right there, man. Listen, the Lord did it. The Lord did it for me. He did it for me. Listen, I deserve it. I'm a man of the cloth. I deserve it. Man, look at that house, spiral staircase. Good Lord, Tim. We living backwards, man. We need to go ahead and get us a congregation, man. Let me get a congregation. Good Lord. I could use one, man. I could use one, man. Listen. Look at this, man. Look at this. So he's living like this. But what does this church look like? This is what his church looks like. Look at him. Boy, look at those shades, man. It's rough out here for the boys. Look at that diamond encrusted cross over there. Look at that. Culligan right there. Gucci, Louis. Oh man, look at that. They couldn't even get the pigeon poop off there, man. Come on, man. We down bad out here. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say, man. The house is nice. It's like as big as a city block, man. It's as big as a city block. But I mean, I'm pocket watching. It's okay. I'm pocket watching. I'm just seeing our boy living good over there, man. Man, I need a church. Good Lord. But yeah, what do you think, man? Do you think that, if you compare the way his church is presented and the way that his home is presented, what do you think? Do you think that they should be equal? Do you think that there should be a difference? What's your thought on that, Tim?
Well, first thing is, I think the church should show better representation than his home, because if he's getting fully all the money, let's just say if 70% of his income is coming from the church, then that means that he's not putting the money back into his business. Because let's be honest, church is big business. I don't care how we want to label it, nonprofit and all that stuff. That's big business, because you can make a ton of money and you can get a lot of tax breaks doing it. So that's one. Then the other thing is, church goes on a special purpose, so they get a whole nother tax category when you think about just the real estate that is on. So that's another thing. So just as a whole, I would say that's definitely a problem because he's living better than the facility that's helped funding his life. Now, what I don't know is, so I'm just speaking off of assumption. What I don't know is I don't know where the vast majority of his income come from, because he could been taking the church money, doing other things, doing other investments. That I don't know. I'm just gonna make the assumption that most of this money come from the church. So that's
Okay, okay. Along those very same lines, here we go. Right here, it says Anderson, right? So here we go. Right here, we're saying that Anderson, who was introduced to Whitehead through her son Rashid Anderson in 2020, only found out about the Saddle River home after Whitehead accidentally sent an email to Rashid about the purchase. The lawsuit states, right? This is him being sued by a parishioner, right? It said that he's being accused of stealing $90,000 from a congregant, right? According to a lawsuit, right? They said that the Saddle River purchase didn't go through, but Whitehead did purchase a $4.5 million apartment complex in Hartford, Connecticut, right? They said Anderson said that she was told that she couldn't get a mortgage because of her bad credit, which is when Whitehead stepped in and said, hey, listen, I got you. Hold on. Whitehead stepped in, and with his offer to help, the lawsuit alleged, right? Despite having reservations about handing over the hefty sum to Whitehead, Anderson went through with it, right? Because he was supposed to be a man of the cloth, right? Man of the cloth, and he had previously helped her own son secure housing for himself, right? He later allegedly told her that he was investing the cash in his company and had no obligations to pay it back. Look at that, man. I mean, he's a man of the cloth. Listen, I got you, sister. Come here. You can't get a house. You don't have good enough credit. Come over here. Let me help you out here. Look at my house. Good Lord, Tim. I'm telling you, Tim. Man, I need some threads like our boy right here, man. Look at that, man. I need some threads like that. Listen, man, he got that Cuban link with that diamond encrusted cross. Listen, man, I'm gonna drop the link. Let me drop the link for you guys to come up here. Tell me what you guys think about our boy over here, man. It is rough out here. So look, we're gonna cover this one last thing, and then I'm gonna drop the link. One last thing, Tim. Here we go. Oh boy, man, our boy's down bad. What do you guys think? Let's see what the chat's saying. It says, what is Second Amethyst says? She says, so the pastor is living in the flesh. Listen, he's doing more than living in the flesh. He's living a life. He's living a high life, man. Right? And let's see. We already brought up these ones. Salute to J Bones. Salute to you, J Bones. I appreciate you coming through. What do you think about our pastor here, man? Our brother is down bad, man. Listen, living a life. I mean, I'm just sitting up here thinking, man, all I do, whenever I see stuff, I just do like a mental math. I just count dollar sign. The Gucci and North Face collab right there, man. I know that's not cheap right there, man. I think that's only for big fish, man. It's for the big boys. And so when I see stuff like that, man, I'm saying, man, that stuff is not cheap. Not cheap. What's J Bone saying? Saying hello to Second Amethyst. Randy, how you doing, Randy K? What do you think about this? Do you think our boy should be getting any scrutiny? Is it fair for him to be living an opulent life? You know, is it all right for him to be living an opulent life? Because this is what he told us. What did he tell us? This is what he told us. He told us this. He said, come on, guys. It's not about me being flashy. It's about me purchasing what I want. It's my prerogative. Come on, guys. Give me a break. He says, give me a break, guys. I'm just a man. I just want to live a regular life. What do they say? All right. Salute to the chat. Randy K says, I read something earlier about him taking $90,000 from a woman's retirement. Tim, women's retirement, man. A woman's retirement account. Can you imagine your mom giving up $90,000 from her 401k to give to this man? And then what did he say? He says, I use the money. What do you say? He says, I use the money to fund my own project. What do you say? He said, Tim. This is what he said, Tim. He says he later alleged that he was investing the cash in his company and had no obligation to pay it back. What's that sound like to you, Tim? What's that sound like? Does that sound to you like a strong arm?
A strong arm pimp.
Listen, man, no obligation to pay it back. Imagine your mom, guys. Imagine your mom telling you, she says, honey, I'm supposed to be buying a home and the pastor's helping me out. He's going to help me get a home because you know I'm struggling with my credit. I need some help with my credit, right? Salute, Mr. Boy. Salute, salute. That's what he said. I need help with my credit. Man, listen. All right, salute, salute. Listen, what's Sec Amethyst says? She says, yeah, bullets fly and they have no names on them. Seriously, right? $90,000. $90,000. And he says, it's not my obligation to pay you back either. Not at all. I could care less. So, I mean, that's a brazen position for a pastor to take. I mean, you at that point, you're saying that your parishioners have no one to count on, you know, and then at the end of the day, they don't have no family they can count on. All you know is it's just you and them. Go ahead, Tim. What you think? Saying hello?
Yeah, I was saying hello to Randy K.
Salute to Randy K. What's that Amethyst says? I don't feel bad for him, right? I feel bad for the community and the people that support him. Exactly, right? So our boy is flashy, man. Listen, riding around in a Rolls Royce Culligan. I need to look up and see how much it costs. I think, Tim, a Rolls Royce Phantom used to cost about $200. It's gonna be about $300,000. I'm thinking that's at least $300,000, $350,000, man. I mean, is it? Well, now hold up, Tim. Now, you familiar with Section 179 of the IRS tax code? Do you think that a pastor could use Section 179 of the IRS tax code?
I don't know. Because it has to meet the weight and all that, but
I think it meets the weight, man.
That I don't know. It has to meet the weight requirement.
Oh, hold up, Tim. Look,
it has to be 6,000 pounds.
Rolls Royce Culligan, 6,069 pounds, right there. Listen, if y'all are looking for something to write off, right? I know the G-Wagons are back ordered and the parts are in short supply. Listen, if you're looking for another SUV, we got the Rolls Royce Culligan right here. 6,069 pounds, just enough for you to be able to write it off. Tim, you can get one, man. Write it off. You know, go ahead and do what they call it, the depreciation, the forced depreciation, not forced depreciation. What is it called, Tim? When you can depreciate the whole price for the whole year.
Yeah, you can do it all in 1 year, or you can do it over a couple of years.
Listen, look at this, guys. Look at this. Oh my God, Tim. Listen, man. I need one, Tim. Listen, if you got a cool meal to burn, if you got $1 million to burn, guys, listen, $692,000 for the basic. $692 for the basic. Listen, you don't want to be no regular person out there who rides around in regular anything, right? Go ahead and get the fully loaded package. It's gonna cost you about a cool $800 after taxes, about $1 million, man. What do you think about that, Tim? Man, Tim, I know you got $1 million you're trying to burn over there, man.
Not on that.
It meets the requirement right there, man. 6,000, just enough, man. Listen, I know you guys have been struggling to find the G-Wagons. The G-Wagons went from $160,000 to $235,000. Come on, man. You can afford it. $700, $800. Come on, man. Those are like, you know, Uncle Sam is not gonna miss that money. He's not gonna miss that money, right? So that's what they say, right? Let's see. What is it? Money Bass says, salute Money Bass. Money Bass. Listen, he's a fellow, he's a brother to the channel, a fellow content creator, and check out his channel. He's all about bass tournament fishing, and his channel is insightful for all those guys. Listen, I need to learn how to fish. Tim, you know how to fish?
Yes, man.
Listen, last time I fished was 1993, guys. It is sad, right? It is sad. Here we go.
Last summer.
Really? Listen, man, I need to learn how to fish, man. My son knows how to fish, but I can't fish, man. I'm struggling out here. Here we go. What's N. Allen says? He says the taxes, the lack thereof, makes me want to start preaching. Listen, and Alan, it wouldn't be right if you can't get the Culligan.
Have I got a word for you?
Woo, man, listen. Got to let the Lord bless you. Let the Lord bless you. Right? Salute. Listen, we can use it. I know you need them write-offs over there in Alan. Right? What's before the billions? Before the billions, what you think about our boy, man? Our boy's down bad, man. Listen, in July he got robbed, right? In September they caught the guys, right? So now our boy's got some new trouble now. He's got some new trouble. Man, he's doing down bad. Listen, so here you go. New trouble, man. This is the new trouble right here. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about, guys. Then I'm going to bring you guys up, man. Listen. Man, listen. The headlines. He's accused of ripping off parishioners, man, and lying to the FBI. 3-letter boys, man. Right? They're saying that this is it right here. So we were just talking about it. We said he's accused of allegedly taking $90,000 from parishioner and purporting to invest in real estate ventures, but instead using the cash to buy luxury clothes. Man, our boy's got it, man. He's got it. Look at that, man. He got the shades. He got the threads. Got the North Face Gucci number, man. Listen, man. Listen, y'all need to stop being regular. That's what y'all need to do. Stop being regular. Stop being regular, right? And so he's accused of that. He took $90,000 from your mom and her retirement fund, right? He's also accused of pressuring another parishioner into giving him $500,000 for real estate investments and threatening him into handing over a $5,000 upfront payment when the man expressed misgivings about the deal. Tim, now you're a real estate guy. Can you imagine that? $500,000. The pastor is forcing his parishioners to give them $500,000 for a real estate deal. He took $90,000 from another parishioner. I mean, is this the way that real estate investments happen, Tim? I don't think so, is it?
No, this is strong on.
Man,
but listen. This is just a classic abuse of authority.
Seriously, right?
And this is why we got to still have due diligence for our own households. I think it's just a learning thing out of all of this, because we can't get so caught up on, because what ends up happening, people, it sounds like they get so caught up on because he's the pastor, and they looking at his lifestyle and they feel like they can do it or they have to give because of his authority. And that's why he was able to strong on at least get them to still made the gentleman, or he or she was, give him $5,000.
I mean, come on, give me the 5,000, man. Give me the 5,000. Oh man, I can only imagine. I'm telling you, I could only imagine. And you know, to me, it's just one of those situations where I say, man, like, at what point does it feel wrong, though? Like, at what point does it seem like it's like, man, this guy's being a little bit too forceful? And like you just said, you have to be able to differentiate between someone who's leading you astray and someone who's leading you into an opportunity where you have no opportunity but to win, right? So listen, I'm dropping the link. I want you guys to come up here. Tell me what you guys think about our boy. Our boy's down bad, right? So while you guys are coming up, let me let's see what's up. Tim, what you think, man? I mean, I know, listen, we only have a few days. We only have 11 days left in the year, Tim. You can still order that Cullinan right now, dude. Come on, Tim.
No, I'll pass.
Tim, you can still order that Cullinan, man, just in time for those write-offs, man. You know, our boy Grant Cardone squeezed it. He eked it out at the end of the year. $50 million plane purchase, man. Tim, you can do it, man. End of the year, $50 million plane purchase. You can do it, man. Oh, hold on. Distract me, man. Listen, $50 million, man. Let me pin this thing to the top. Let me see. You guys, hit the link, man. If y'all have something to say. The only rule is, if I don't know you, I need you to be on camera. If I don't know you, I need you to be on camera. Our boy is down bad, man. What do you guys think? Let's see what they say. So, I mean, Tim, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, $500,000. He's forcing another parishioner to give him $500,000 for real estate investment. He's threatening him with handing over the $5,000 up front, right? And prosecutors said that in the courtroom filings that were unsealed on Monday. So this just happened, man, just this week. Matter of fact, today's Monday, right? Whitehead is also charged by the three-letter boys for lying to the FBI when he claimed that he only had one cell phone when he actually had a second one that he used frequently to conduct business. And federal prosecutors said, he says that he abused the trust placed in him by the parishioners. He bullied a businessman for $5,000 and tried to defraud him for far more than that, right? And lied to the federal agents, man. You know, they say lying to a federal agent is perjury, man. You know, it's actually against the law for you to lie to a federal agent. You can lie to a local or state police, but you can't lie to a federal agent, man. It's really, really a huge, huge deal, right? And here we go. This is what they said, man. Our boys down bad. They said that Lamar accused. We already said that, right? All right. He said that he says his campaign of fraud and deceit stops now. That's what the U.S. attorney, U.S. attorney from the South District of New York said. His abuse, his campaign of fraud and deceit stops now. Now, they say that he lives in New Jersey. He was arrested Monday morning. Man, this is fresh, guys. It's hot. It's hot. He was arrested Monday, right? And they said that it wasn't immediately clear if he had retained an attorney, right? They said that the bishop preached the prosperity gospel, the belief that material wealth stems from one's devotion to God. Has long been a colorful character in New York's religious firmament. Look at our boy, man. Look at that chain. Boy, Tim, listen, man, you can pawn that chain and get a couple of hundred. Listen, man, Whitehead. It says Whitehead enjoyed a close relationship with the New York City Mayor Eric Adams. When Adams was the borough president of Brooklyn, Whitehead ran to replace Adams as borough president in 2021, but garnered few votes and lost in a Democratic primary. Look at that. In July, Whitehead was the target. White said he lost $1 million. Man, listen, what do you guys think? You guys think it's fair for our boy to get arrested today? Let me see. What is it? Here we go. Salute. What's Ann Allen said? Ann Allen says, Sam, start preaching and monetize your channel. LOL, pastors got that long money. Listen, man. Listen, I need that. Ann Allen, I need this coloring in my life, girl. I need this coloring in. Look at that. That white. Ooh. White seems right? Look at that, man. And so it's just a wild thing, man. And what do you think, Tim? I mean, this guy, so he gets robbed in July. They catch the robbers in September, right? He gets somebody's mom to give him $90,000, and he said that he was going to help her. I mean, it's almost like a scammer, man. Like, he went to jail already for identity fraud. Oh, man, it's wild, man. $90,000. He stole $90,000 from somebody's mom. Imagine your mom working hard, having a retirement fund, saying, listen, I want to buy a house. I have this money in my account. I want to buy a house. And he says, look, listen, I got you, sister. Sister, I got you. I know your credit's not good, so I'm going to help you out. You know, I helped your son out. I'm going to help you out. So that's what happened. And I'm waiting for you, Elijah. I need you to come on camera. So listen, we're waiting for you. We can help you out, sister. Come here. Let us help you out. And what happened, man? He said, listen, no. I'm going to use that $90,000 for my investment. I don't know what you're talking about, right? And Seth Amethyst says, that's not a regular life, right? Not at all, right? He's living an opulent life, super opulent. And I don't know, man. It's like, I know New York's expensive, so I don't even know. I don't even understand how he's able to afford his house right here. You know, like at the end of the day, how does he even live in this? In New York, it costs you $4,000 for like a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot, a 500 or 800 square foot house or townhouse apartment. So how in the world is he able to afford that, man? And his church looks like Man, it just looks like a shop. That's that New York stuff though, man. Let me see. Yeah, I need you, Elijah, I need you to come on camera, bro. I see you. I don't want to be up here. I don't see. Can you click on the icon? I don't see you. Let's see. Click on the icon. Turn off the camera. I need you to flash the camera. Let me see. But yeah, man. So it's just that type of situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The camera's pointed down. The camera's pointed down. Go ahead, Tim.
I still think this is one of those situations where it's really not about him.
Mm-hmm.
To be totally honest with you, he just a tool piece, but I think it's about individuals got to know how to discern people.
Mm-hmm.
I think too many times we get caught up in the flash and all of that stuff, and it's not really real.
All right, I got you, Elijah. Go ahead and select the icon. I need you to select the icon because your camera's black. Go ahead, Tim. My bad.
I say, but I think it's not really about him. I think it's about people have to learn how to discern information and really take a step back and really process stuff. Because I mean, for me, that's why I think it's so important that we, everybody that's in the chat, tuning in or going to watch the replay. That's why I think it's so important that we have some level of financial understanding and discernment of people, because we don't know when we may need to be that person in the family that people need to bounce ideas or be able to come to. Because for that example with the, you say, what if that was my mom? See, I wouldn't have to worry about that because my mom was going to come to me first.
Right.
Because I made that, I went out and did the work. I did the process. And so when it comes to those type questions, I could be a good start. And even if I don't know the answer, at least she know that she's getting input for somebody that she trusts, love, and care for her and want the best interest for her.
I mean, Tim, $90,000. I mean, what would you do if a pastor took $90,000 of your mom's retirement money, man? She's supposed to be using that towards the house. I mean, that's the part that really gets wild. Is that it's like you really just testing us. You're testing me. You're testing my freedom, right? You're testing my freedom. Mm-hmm. And now you're saying after she gave you the money that you're going to use the money towards your own endeavors anyway, right? And so it's just a wild thing. So I personally, I don't know, man. I can't really say what I would do. What would you do in that situation without what do you call it? Incriminate yourself.
It depends.
Right?
It really depends. It depends on the input that I get from my mom, the conversation we will have after that happened.
Okay. I got you.
See, because for me, I learned not to be reactionary to stuff. I learned that first you got to gather information. I'm just in a different space now. So for me, I wouldn't just react, because how can I say he's wrong when she didn't do her best job at her own due diligence?
Mm-hmm.
See, so that's where I'm at, because I know the risk is higher if I just respond. Now, if he just hit her or something like that, that's different. See, so that's why I say for me, that's different. So I can't really answer that question. I'm just being honest with you.
Oh man. Listen, he said it just depends. Okay, all right, we got Elijah. We're gonna bring out Elijah. Elijah's gonna tell us what he thinks. Salute, Elijah. What's going on, man? How's it going?
What's going on, big brother?
We can't hear you, man. We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay, so yeah, what would you do, man? So we got our brother right here, man. Our brother Bishop Whitehead, man. Listen,
that's not a. You got to learn the difference between a brother and a crook.
Listen, man. Listen, this guy's listen. This is our brother right here, man. He's man of the cloth right there, man.
That last name is a dead giveaway.
Which one?
Whitehead.
His last name.
He got the head of white folks.
Oh, come on now. Come on now. We gotta be nice, man. We gotta be nice. Hold up, man.
That is nice.
Something's going on with your audio. Hold on. I'm gonna drop you down, man.
Can you hear me? You can't
It's
hear me?
staticky. I'm gonna drop you down.
Okay,
And
hold.
then, okay, try it now. Go ahead. Try it again.
How about now?
It's a little bit static, but go ahead and tell us real quick. What would you do, man? What would you do if I maybe you're not gonna call him my brother, but you know, if what would you do if the pastor took $90,000 from your mom's retirement account, right? $90,000 from a retirement account, said that he was going to use it. He was going to use it to help her buy a house. But then he says, no. He says that he purported to invest the money in real estate investors, but instead used it to buy luxury clothes and other items, man. What would you do? Just go ahead and tell us. Go ahead and tell us really quick before your audio starts doing the same thing.
And what's the old saying? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. The church has been ripping black folks off and robbing black folks for 400 years now.
Uh-huh.
There's a play out called Pimps in the Pulpit. Pimps in the Pulpit. There's a play out called Pimps in the Pulpit. The real question is not the question isn't what would I do. The question is when are so-called black folks gonna wake up and stop loving to be ripped off and robbed and scammed and done in. When are we gonna wake up? The Bible, God says in the Bible that woe to the shepherd who feeds himself and not his flock. And in the book of Revelations, it says when God comes to kill the wicked, he's gonna start in the church. Isaiah 14:13 says Satan owns the church. Most preachers are ex-pimps.
Oh man, listen, our brother said a lot right there. Listen,
Yes,
he said
sir.
a lot. Listen, I appreciate you coming up, brother Elijah. We can call you brother Elijah out there in Africa doing the Lord's work.
No, I'm back. I'm back now.
Oh, you back? You back?
Yeah, I'm back on the soil.
Our brother's out here. He's out there doing Lord's work, leading those men to greener pastures, pointing them towards that professional career. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate you coming through, man. And but yeah, I'm gonna drop you down and bring up someone else. But I appreciate you giving us a little bit of the word right there, bro.
Oh, you gonna drop me? Oh man, let me stay up.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop you, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. I got somebody in the back. I got the people lined up in the back. So I'm gonna drop you right now.
All right.
Salute, bro. All right, man. Tim, listen, he hit us, man. He had some words for us. He had some. I never heard that before. He says that the Lord's gonna start out in the church. Here we go. And we got Uncle Stu. Salute, Uncle Stu.
Salute. Can you hear me real good?
Yes, sir. How's it going, man? Listen,
doing well.
What's
Yeah, I
going on,
already
Uncle
did a
Stu?
video on this.
Oh, you did a video?
Yeah, I wish you would have kept your last call up because I've never had a felony, never been to prison, and I've been ordained for over 25 years. So we're going to repeat that statement real quick. And so, I'm a brother that has studied and show himself approved on the God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed to rightly divide the word of truth. So now let's get with this. This Whitehead dude is nothing unique. We have seen this manifestation before. He's just the only one that has been caught. Unfortunately, when the church turned into a semi-Pentecostal holiness, more of the Pentecostal holiness prosperity gospel, we have seen this, if you want to call it buffoonery, before. So we have seen many pastors and so-called leaders, both men and women, especially in the African-American and in the white community, use tricks and gimmicks to finesse and finagle people out of money in order for themselves to be prosperous. So what do we have to do? We have to become wise, and we have to understand the truth of the Bible. This is why it is always said, study for yourself, read for yourself, get knowledge and understanding for yourself. That way you will not be finessed out of yourself. So we who are wiser, we have to protect those who are not as wise as we are. So we don't know exactly what happened. You have a lot of people that says tithes and offering, love, so we don't know how long it took for this woman to be, quote, swindled out of 90,000. And like Tim said, we got to know exactly what's exactly going on, what's happening. So we got people in the church swindling people out of money. You got businesses swindling black people out of money. You got YouTubers swindling people out of money. So it's all over. We can't just put it on one place and one thing. Yeah. Now, I'm not giving him a pass by no means. By no means. You got a pastor in that is running another church. And he's talking about trying to get men to grow weed.
Listen, man. We need the blood in the church.
You got a dude that said God said he deserves a $5 million plane. They gave it to him.
Man, 50 million. 50. Hold up, Uncle Stu. It was $50 million. Let's get it right. It was G650, man. Listen, get the numbers right. 5 and 50 are not the same.
Hey, listen. I remember he said God said, and then the pandemic showed up. So I don't know where you've been flying to.
It is not the same. Listen, you're talking about a used plane, Uncle Stu. He's talking about a G65, a 650, man. Listen.
The American Airlines at Delta get me to anywhere I want to go, so I'm good. I'm good. But in reality, we just it's a backstab against the black church. But at the same time, we have seen this before. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, this is a blemish. Even those that are good pastors no longer preach in the church because they don't want to be associated with the foolishness, but they're still out here preaching the gospel.
I got you. So look, we got our guest Elijah. He's come back up, man. He's gonna clear his name. Now listen. Now we're gonna keep this just a civil exchange, right? So it's not gonna be.
Yeah, I didn't think you should have dropped him the first time.
Well,
thank you.
He was preaching to me, man. I was giving in little by little, man. He was giving me the word over here, man. I was
right.
ready to open up my wallet.
Supposed to drop him because he gave you scripture. You wasn't supposed to drop him when he gave you the scripture. That meant he was showing you he had authority of the word, that he knew the word.
All right, so what smoke you got for him then, Uncle Stu?
I don't. All I said was what he said at the latter part, which is you can't lump him with everybody because I am ordained preacher. I do have the papers. I do have the degree, and I've traveled the world twice and did evangelistical work, not only in America, but over in Africa too. So can't lump everybody in that same category.
All right, so go ahead, Elijah. What you gonna say about that? He says that you can't be talking about the pastors of pimps, man. Come on now. I'm just suave. I'm not a pimp.
There's a book written by what he's talking about when he's talking about pimps in the pulpit. That's a book long before it became a play. There's a book that is called Pimps in the Pulpit, which does speak about a lot of pastors that has played those type of roles. But right. Every pastor, everybody that preaches the gospel was not a former pimp. I wasn't a pimp.
No, I didn't say everyone.
Oh, okay.
But, Uncle Stu, you spat some real good wisdom and seem to be true to the word and true to representing. But that's one in a million. To find a true preacher of the word that wants to actually live what they practice, what they preach, live what they teach, and allow their action to fit their speech. It's very rare to find that kind of person. And Uncle Stu seems to be sounds like one of the real and genuine brothers that really actually wants to do the work.
Think about it, Elijah. What did Jesus tell the people? He said, listen to what the Pharisees say, just don't do what they do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? What did Jesus say? He said, I came to save those that was lost.
Right.
Who was lost? It was those that was the Pharisees that became lost. They knew the word. They just wasn't the doers of the word. You
Well,
understand?
He came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Exactly.
Code words, right? Code words for the
Exactly.
black man.
Oh, now if you want
Not
to
for
get
everybody.
that,
He didn't come to save the whole
let me
world.
let me help you with that. Let me
Oh, I don't need no help. I don't need no help.
Oh, hold up now, Uncle Stu. He doesn't need your help, man. He's got his book too.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. Once again, what we've done is we've taken 16th century and we flipped it around. So when you know who St. Augustine is, when you understand where the Church of Corinthian is, which is in Central North Africa, when you understand that, you know, he's talking about Eastern Orthodoxy Christianity. What is Eastern Orthodoxy Christianity? It is when the church first did a Western and Eastern split. So that is the one that took over all of North Africa, going all the way down from Egypt, from the Middle East to Egypt, all the way down to what we call modern day South Africa. So he's talking about the eastern side of Christian theology. Now, when I'm speaking from the Middle Eastern, you know, right around where people would say Jerusalem is, but it's a little bit switched off of where modern day Jerusalem is, because you got to include Jerusalem and part of Saudi Arabia, where the holy city of where Mecca is. So when you start getting into colorism and really start doing that, now you're into a different doctrine. Doctrine means teaching. So what he's coming from is the area was known as liberation theology. What is liberation theology? Liberation theology.
Who's coming from?
Elijah, I'm explaining it to the two panelists. Liberation theology.
Where who's coming
I know,
from, brother?
but you already know it. You already know it, but everybody that's in the chat is not going to understand it.
Yes, sir.
You got it?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah. I think we had a pretty good idea. Were you finished, Uncle Stu?
So that's coming, you know, directly out of liberation theology. So for people that don't understand, when Christianity was given, quote unquote, to Western African Americans, it was given to us distortedly. That's why when you look at the preachings of what's coming out of the original AME church and the original Black Baptists, they had to re-preach what was taught. So it was taught that you're a slave. When the original African American method is called AME. AME was those that took that Bible and flipped it around and taught Black people that they were the original people and that Christ was coming to set them free. That's why you always hear more of the story about Moses and the children of Israel than you hear about the gospel. The gospel wasn't really, if you want to say, wasn't really brought out into the 1950s and 60s. But that's a quick summation of 400 years of being in America.
Yeah. So I just want to know. Do you guys feel bad for him, man? That's what I want to know. Do you guys feel bad for him? Our boy is down bad, right? He's down bad. And listen, our man is down bad. He was robbed in July.
Stop right there.
In July for $1 million.
Stop right there. I'm gonna answer that question.
Right? Go ahead. Do you feel bad for him? He was robbed.
No, because
$1 million.
When you no,
hold on, let's do. He was robbed for $1 million in July, right? Right.
That's not, but that's not accurate. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Which part is not accurate?
What you just said, and I'm trying to break that down to you. That was a false robbery for insurance purposes.
Oh, hold up now, Uncle Stu. Do we know that? Do we know that to be true?
Yeah, go to the New York Times.
Oh man, hold up now.
New York Post always going to give you yellow journalism. That's the owners of Fox News.
Which ones? New York Post. Oh, look at that. We're getting political with our news sources.
Yeah, I know the news sources. I'm from New York.
So if
you want accurate news source, you either gotta go to New York Times or some other newspaper.
So he robbed. So go ahead and school us real quick. Give us the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, the Cliff Note version is it was, quote, an alleged fake robbery. And if you want that breakdown, go to TLA. He broke that down as well. He broke this whole case down, video by video, clip by clip. Okay.
Oh, man.
But if you want me to feel bad, no, because I can't feel bad when I know you know the truth. Now, if you do something out of ignorance, I can feel bad. But if you know the truth,
right,
and you're supposed to be living by the truth,
right.
that's kind of hard for me to have compassion in that regards.
But
now, if you're ignorant, then that's a whole different story.
Uncle Stowe, your daughter's been working hard all her life, right?
You asked me if
buy a
I felt
house
bad about the preacher. You can't put my daughter in because she know the word.
Listen, so you don't feel bad about the preacher, right?
No.
All right. Okay. So do you think that it was wrong that he took $90,000 from a parishioner?
Absolutely.
And said that he was going to help her buy a house, and instead used it in order for him to buy a house and to invest towards his investments and buy luxury clothes.
I already answered that. There's nothing that you could tell me.
Come on, man.
You asked me. I told you speaking to a grown man.
He's a man of the cloth.
You know the truth. No, he's not a man of the cloth. You lost the cloth. You lost your cloth privilege. You knew the truth. You did not follow the truth.
Come on.
Therefore, you shall go down with the truth.
Come on, Uncle Stu. Listen, man. Listen. He's a man of God. He should be able to enjoy the fruits of his labor.
No, sir.
Where does God steal?
Right. And why are you twisting that? Because see, what you're doing now is the con of the gambit.
Which one?
Come on, Uncle Stu. You know he's supposed to enjoy the fruits of his labor. You can't even say that with a real smile. So let's even stop. Because if you go to the book of Acts, what does it says? Everyone gave until there was no more need. That's Acts chapter 3. That was after the day. That was after Pentecost, right?
Oh,
now,
man.
if you're going to sit up there and use it, and it says, Paul says, I'd rather work than to get money from the church. Why? Because he had the ability to work. My bishop is still working and running a church. I worked and still ran a church. So if you go according to real scripture, that's the scripture. Now, I'll even take it further. Let's take it from black to white. Most white churches, you know what their full-time pastors do? They actually work. They don't sit at home and on Wednesday give you Bible study and on Sunday come and preach. They are actually out there doing the work. They're actually at the nursing homes. They're actually building businesses. They're actually doing things. They're actually putting things together. They do not live in their house. They live in a house that is owned by the church. So when they leave, trust me, they're not leaving to $1 million home. They actually live in a parish.
Jesus said, be ye doers of the word, not hearers only. He said, take the word into the highways and byways. You see, the scripture says, to whom much is given, you can go shopping. No, the scripture says,
much is expected, man. Isn't that how it goes?
Exactly.
To whom much is expected. Look at that. Look at that right there.
I'm gonna have to lead this panel now.
Look at this, man.
We both answered it, and there's nothing else to say.
Have y'all ever been in a coloring though? I mean, y'all don't think God said that he deserves to be in a coloring, man? Come on.
So,
and what did God tell Moses to say? Thou shalt not what? Steal. And when you tell that lady under false pretenses, oh, I'm taking this money to invest in real estate, but you take that money and use it for self-aggrandizement, is what the legal term is. That's fraud. That's theft.
It is.
So nowhere is the word, concept, idea, or principle of God in what he's doing. Now, everywhere in what he's doing is the word, concept, idea, and principle of Satan and the devil. He's doing devilish things. Just like Jesus said. They asked, his disciples asked him, brother, how we gonna know this man when he comes? And Jesus' answer was, just like you know a tree by the fruit that it bears, you shall know this man by his works. And this man's works is to rob and steal.
He said it's not about me being flashy. That's what he said. It's not about me being flashy. He says it's about me purchasing what I want to purchase. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase.
Let me say this, because I'm about to leave the panel. I'm gonna
Uncle
tell you
Stu.
why I'm gonna
Don't
leave
get
it
worked up,
down.
Uncle Stu. Don't get worked up, man.
Is what is the book? Lord, it just escaped me. It's the one that everybody likes to use when it comes to these tithes and offering. But if you read the first chapter, and this is where I'm going to leave. First chapter, he says, "You have robbed me." Says, "How have I robbed you?" Through tithes and offering. Why? Because everybody offered up what? The worst of the animals, the worst of everything. Would you give your king the worst meat and the worst vegetables? They said no, but they would give God that. There's no more conversation after that, Sincere. You got to move on to another topic because this man to God is not going to keep riding down that wave because now you sound like you're in agreement with him and you're ministering his word. We gave you the word. You got it from two different sources. Either you accept, because if you reject, my God says, I don't need to be staying around here. We came up here, we answered your question, gave you the word from two different perspectives. See, that's why your mic don't work.
Listen, neither one of y'all have written in the Cullinan, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, once you ride in the Cullinan, maybe your tune will change, Uncle Stu. I got you, though.
Elijah,
Yes,
it's been a blessing. Intentional. It's been a blessing.
My pleasure, brother.
I'll go down those
Uncle
roads.
Stu.
Oh, Uncle Stu, we ran him off, guys. We ran him off. We ran off Uncle Stu.
Y'all have a good one. I'll be in the
Uncle
back.
Stu. He's a fellow
Uncle
content
Stu.
creator, man. Check out his channel. He's a brother to the channel. You're welcome anytime. Listen, the next time, man, come up here. We need you to come up here and do a little advocating, man. Come on, Uncle Stu.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna do it for a whole 3 hours.
Salute. All right. Appreciate you, man.
All right, see y'all later.
Later.
Peace,
All right, Uncle
Elijah.
Stu.
All
Peace,
right,
brother.
y'all.
Man, listen,
Now,
man.
what'd you say? He said he's not flashy.
That's what he said. Look. This is what he said. This is what he said. This is what he told us. This is how our brother told us, man. He says, it's not about me being flashy. That's not what attracted the guys to me. He says, it's my prerogative. It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase. I'm not being flashy. That's what he said. He said he's not being flashy, Elijah.
That reminds me of what a brother said one time. He said, "A pair of lips can say anything," and he sounds like when you match his words with his actions, he sounds like a stripper or a prostitute or a drug dealer with these grand delusional lies that come out of his mouth. And the problem is not him. The problem is the people allowing him to get away with this. That's the problem. Like Eleanor Roosevelt said it best. Nobody can make you feel good or bad without your permission. Uh-oh.
My bad. Go ahead.
But Eleanor Roosevelt said, nobody can make you feel good or bad without your permission.
Uh-huh.
And black people keep giving con artists like this permission to come and use us as prostitutes, condoms, and toilet paper.
Oh, come on, man. Now you're getting graphic, man. Come on. I need to monetize this video. Go ahead. Go ahead, Elijah. Good Lord, man. I lost it all right there. Go ahead. That man's getting graphic.
I didn't say any.
Listen, we got children around here, man. They're trying to get educated. Go ahead. I'm listening to you, bro.
I didn't say nothing. Nothing crazy.
Elijah, keep it smoking. Keep the fire coming. They need to hear this.
Go ahead, Elijah.
Right. The today's kids know more about sex than the 40 and 50-year-olds.
Right. They don't need a magazine.
No.
They don't need a magazine.
They don't have to sneak magazines anymore.
They got that cell phone.
Right. And see, you know who did the same exact thing this preacher did?
Hold on. Let's not get too far away from it. Go ahead. Tell me real quick. We don't want to drift too far away from the topic.
We not.
Go ahead.
a person did the same exact thing was Deion Sanders.
Hold up.
He used the black community to get what he wanted.
You see, I should have known,
and enrich
Elijah.
himself.
All right, hold on, Elijah. Hold on. Now, look at it. Oh man, listen. He told us. You see, I knew last time you told me. Listen, hold on. Listen. I don't know if you guys know. I didn't know this, because this was before my time.
You owe me a thank you. You owe me a big thank you.
Somebody else shared it with me before you, right? But I just didn't really pay attention. Listen, he had the song "Must Be the Money."
Yeah. It was a remake from a 1983 song called "Must Be the Music."
Must be the money. Here we go. All right. Back to this. You see, you talking about that boy. Listen, man. Here we go. Let me share something with you guys. Here we go. Let me see. I want to make sure we can get this. Let's see. Maximize the screen. We're struggle streaming over here, guys. All right, here we go. Let's go. All right, here we go. I want y'all to see something over here. Here we go. All right. I hope you guys can hear it, man. I'm behind. Let me see. Here we go. Oh, hold up, Tim. Here we go. It says, here we go. Oh, hold on. Let's not get the loop back.
In this position, I'm getting into the position in front of my face right now.
Well, the elephant in the room is this, and that.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah, the elephant in the room is that.
Man, I'm alive.
Okay. Well, we have to deal with the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the
Pastor,
room.
I'm just be honest with you. Look, I'm not going to come up here and give y'all all my money that I make every month. I'm just sorry. I've been fair.
Well, we're not looking for you to
I put $20 a week. Yeah. And then sometimes I feel good. I have
$20 a week is like giving a dollar.
You muted.
Muted, Sam.
Look at that. Hold on, my bad. Listen, man. Struggle streaming. Lord, did y'all hear that?
Yeah, we heard it.
We're gonna go back to it. Hold on. It's getting real out here, man. Listen, is this what happens to y'all when y'all go to church and y'all get pulled into the room? Listen, I want to know. Is this what happens? Is this how church business? Uncle Stu, we saw you running off over here. We saw you running off earlier, Uncle Stu, when I was sharing with you guys that Cullinan, good Lord, that Cullinan 800,000. Probably got that smooth leather, right? Here we go. All right. Got that smooth leather. There we go. Here we go. All right. What do you say? That pastor had him pinned. He had him cornered.
Given a dollar.
Is that your 10%? Are you earning?
That's my.
Like giving a dollar.
Did I say something? Is that your 10%? Are you earning?
That's my business. That's what it is.
Oh man, is this what happens, man? Listen, Elijah, is this how they have y'all cornered in the back, man? Listen,
yes, sir.
You to pull out that tax return. We need you to pull out that W-2. You want to know how much you made, young man? He said, is that the 10% that you're supposed to be giving the Lord? That's what he said. All right, hold on. We're gonna go back to it. Lord, listen, man. Oh man, I'm cracking up. You didn't hear
about TD fakes. I mean,
listen, man. He come out here with all the smoke, man. All the smoke.
You didn't hear about TD snakes. I mean, TD Jakes putting a bunch of ATMs in the the Potter house.
Come on, man. That's what's our man Jamal? What's our man Jamal Bryant? Jamal Bryant has got the pot house. All right, here we go. Uncle Stu. And Alan says, Uncle Stu, old man on block. Hey, listen. And Alan, you saw Uncle Stu running off over there. He didn't want to talk about how our brothers out here riding around in that Cullinan. They're riding around in that Cullinan. Let's get back to it.
I wrote it down what he made. Look here. I wrote it what he made.
She wrote what you make, and see, it does not reach.
Well, I got to just find me. I'm not going to let y'all attack me.
Well, we know.
You know, I know robbery, strong arm.
Let me
You know, you ain't gonna rob me, and I'm agree to it.
Well, let's talk about robbery. In the book of Malachi, it talks about, will a man rob God? He said, yea, ye have robbed me in your tithes and offerings. You know, that's where you rob. That's where robbery happens.
Man, let me tell you something. I really don't even believe in the 10%. I'm gonna just
Turn
He
your
had
mic
that
on.
smoke. He had that smoke.
Okay.
He had that smoke, man. He said he doesn't even believe in the 10%. Is this how they do? Elijah, go ahead and tell us, Elijah. Go ahead.
No, that's a true fact. There's no such thing. Tithing meaning 10% of your income and money is a big lie. Tithing is a big lie. Tithing is a big lie. I said it. And
All
to
right,
prove
hold
it,
Come up here with all
you have to do is go to the Old Testament. Tithing was when we had an agrarian society, completely agricultural, farmland. Tithing meant you bring 10% of the first harvest of your farm to the storehouse, to the community storehouse, in case there was a famine. It had absolutely nothing to do with money, dollars, or anything monetary, nothing. And it's been misconstrued and lied upon by pimping preachers to suck money out of the people. Let me ask you something. What is the biggest what's it called? Drugs, alcohol. I forgot the name of it. But
which one are you talking about? What's the most pervasive
vice. What's
vice?
the biggest vice in the black community?
I'm not sure, man. I'd say
is it alcohol?
Sugar.
Is it alcohol?
Sugar's the biggest vice, honestly.
Is it sugar? No. Is it alcohol?
I think it's sugar, man.
Is it crack cocaine? No. The biggest vice in the black community is the Christian church. Where we give $104 billion a year to these fake pimp preachers. And Isaiah 14:13 in anybody's Bible, on anybody's shelf, tells you Satan owns the church. Man, that money goes to build more prisons for us and cook up more crack and AIDS for us that people give to the church. That's why the black community is so messed up.
All right, let's see what our brother is saying, man. He was in that. I mean, he was cornered back there, man. Come on now. This man's back there, and I don't even know if he knows what he walked himself into.
They shaking him down, brother.
Listen, shake down. Ain't that what my man said? Shake down.
Break yourself, fool.
To be honest with you, I think that was man-made. You feel me? Because back then, when they came up with 10%, ain't nobody had jobs. So where the money come up with 10% at?
Who told you folk didn't have jobs?
What job was? Everybody paying everybody with apples and oranges and bananas.
They had jobs. They had livestock. They had
what black folks you know had livestock?
They don't have to be black.
They had a half a pig with one leg.
Don't have to be black folk, but black folks had livestock all throughout.
The ones that had sense.
You got to pay them.
You probably had it.
You gonna have to pay them.
I didn't have it.
Let me share this. Let me share this with you because I'm not gonna go back and forth with you about
and I'm not neither.
Some money because the church is well taken care of before you came. We're trying to allow you to be blessed because the blessings of the Lord, according to Deuteronomy,
giving my money away, Pastor ain't gonna bless me.
Okay. You're not giving it away. You're doing what God say do with it. You're not giving it away.
You got a chair and a desk in here too?
I don't need nothing to tell you the truth.
Listen, man, shake down, man. Listen, I mean, oh man, I don't know. I'd probably be laughing too, man. I don't know. How would you respond in this situation, Tim? I mean, here you are. I mean, going there is half the battle, right? Going there is half the battle, and then now they're asking you, listen, man, listen. We know this, brother. We notice that you haven't been contributing. So based upon how much you're supposed to be making, we notice that you're not really giving that much. You're giving us $50 here, $20 here, but we need you to give a little bit more regular. You're not. Listen, don't you want the Lord to bless you? Don't you want the Lord to bless you? What do y'all think about that, man? Getting shaken down, Tim. Could you imagine being cornered in that situation, especially if they know you're successful, right?
I've been in a situation before, and then you know what I told them? You ain't got to worry because you ain't gonna see me again. And I was out. It ain't up for discussion. I'm a grown man. You ain't gonna tell me how to spend my money that I done bust my tail to go out and work for. Right? While you sit back and just give a bunch of orders, and I see everybody else around us struggling. Like, get out of here with that.
What about
so that for me, that didn't work for me. So I done been through a couple different churches, and I done seen it all. I seen churches where they spend half of the time asking for offerings. So I'm just out of there. I'm just that ain't work for me.
Listen, What about you, Elijah? Have you ever been through a situation like that, man? Getting shaken down. They said, brother, we know you out there recruiting those young men to play in the league. Go on, brother, help us out.
Oh yes, sir. Yeah, I had a uncle that was a pimping preacher that ripping people off, and when I was young, he explained the lie about tithing and giving 10% of your money, and then when I got older, I bought into it because I was a kid. But when I got older and did the research, and like the brother that just got off said, 2 Timothy 2:14, study to show yourself approved, and read and study and do your own research. Then I learned the information I gave you about how tithing has nothing to do with money when you go to the original Old Testament. Tithing means bringing 10% of your harvest to the storehouse in case the city, the town get hit with a famine. It has nothing, not a dang thing to do with no money. And again, Isaiah 14:13 says Satan owns the church. Jesus wasn't even a Christian. Jesus ain't never said, I'm a Christian, come to Christianity. But we're lazy as a people and don't want to read. We want to listen to anybody and everybody else. 1 Thessalonians 5:21 says, prove everything. Don't just take what people tell you. It says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good, which is true, and which is right. But blacks are lazy and don't want to do that. They don't want to study.
We're not all lazy, man. You can't put us in the group. Let's see what our brother was going through, man. Listen.
Not all, but 99%.
Nah, not even that. Let's see what's going on with our brother right here. Let's see. We need
all right.
Somebody give him a word.
Share with you what happens normally when people don't tithe. When people don't tithe, normally they'll end up being sick. They'll take it to the doctor. They'll take it to the dentist. And
that's why I tithe,
because God is going to eventually get his.
That's why I tithe.
Yeah,
I think
give it to him. He's gonna get it some way, somewhere. Car breakdown, hospital, child.
Well, I bought the car from you.
Where is it still up?
Yeah, it's still up.
Okay,
but I'm just saying it shouldn't break down. I bought it from you. You the one sold me the car.
You had to put
yeah.
Let's man, he said you keep messing around with the Lord, everything's gonna be breaking down around you. Your car, your bus. Listen, today I woke up and the heat wasn't working this morning. And I tell you what happened. It's because of my tithing. That's what happened. And man, listen, can you imagine that? Elijah, is that how it goes down, man? Listen, he was in the corner, man. They started pressing him. They said, hey, listen, you remember that one time you called me and you told me about your flat tire? Yeah, that's because you're not tithing. That's why you got the flat.
Don't forget what they started out with. You're gonna get sick.
Right.
And see, that's in the spiritual world, we call that We call that technique they using spookyism. They trying to spook him up.
Spook him up.
And at the root of spookyism is what? Fear. And what's fear? Fear is the first of the 7 deadly sins.
Oh man, yeah.
So you got these so-called Christian people using a sin to extract and extort money out of a man.
Yeah.
Fear is false education or false evidence appearing real. FEAR.
For real.
And they trying to get him to imagine being sick and imagine his car breaking down because of he ain't giving them no money, and his wife, kids, and dog gonna leave him. That's what they gonna tell him next.
Seriously. Here we go. All right, let's see what we have in the chat. We have salute to Tria. She's another sister to the channel, a fellow content creator. You should check out her channel. She has some really good content about her tour business and doing real estate. So salute to Treya, and salute to Major Change Group. She's saying hello to Peter Investor M. So we appreciate her coming through. She's another finance content creator, Major Change Group. She can tell you about those credit cards. Sister to the channel, look her up. Major Change Group. I told her to hit the link so she can go ahead and tell us about our brother Bishop Whitehead. Tell us what she think about him. Maybe we should have a little bit of grace for the brother. Maybe we should. All right. Salute to Peter Investor M. Salute. Appreciate you coming through. Let us know what you think about our brother Bishop Whitehead. Let us know what you think. All right. So that's what he said. All right. So he said, let our brother come through. Listen, we need you to go ahead and give a little bit to the tithes and offering. Hey, do y'all remember that scene? Y'all remember the scene from Coming to America when Eddie Murphy put the whole knot inside the collection plate when they were at the fundraiser with Randy Jackson and Sexual Chocolate. Y'all remember that? And then the boyfriend took credit for the contribution. Lisa.
He put all those stacks in there.
Yeah. The boyfriend says, "Yeah, that was." She said, "Was that you that put that big nut in there?" He was like, "Yeah."
Put that $5,000 in there.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. Knowing the whole time it was the African Hakeem. Here we go. Peter Investor M saying hello to Major Change Group. Tim is saying hello to Major Change Group, and Peter Investor M. And Treya, this is a form of cursing someone. Look at that. Exactly. That's what I was saying. I was saying that they were cursing that man, and they had him cornered over there. They had the pastor, I'm sure she was probably the treasurer, more than likely.
But that's what they do though. They normally what they normally do is they corral around one person in the family, and they get that family member to beat down people for not doing what they doing.
Really?
And that's why you have men not in the church like that, because they get sick and tired of it and they caught on to the games. They just tired of the games.
Men are no longer in the church. You can't find a man in the church no more. Church is 90% females, because females love to be lied to. They love to be pimped.
That's why the guy with the most game always get the woman, because they love to lie.
Right.
Strong. I got you, baby.
See, we got a 95% single mom divorce rate in the Black community, where there's no more marriages, there's no more couples, and so all these single moms, they went into the psychology of it, and when the preacher is talking about this great, wonderful, powerful man, Jesus, that loves people where they're at, and he can lift them up and elevate them and exalt them and accept them for who they are, even though they've had 4 or 5 kids by 7 or 8 different dudes and blah, blah, blah. It fits their fantasy, and they're attracted to it on a subconscious, subductive, subliminal, psychological, psychotic, neurotic level. And so their senses are being appealed to with the lie and the con, and they buy in.
Yeah, for real. And they like to hear sweet nothings, right? Sweet nothings. So let's get back to our brother over here, man. Lord, somebody give him a word.
Y'all is a part of all my life. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, you had to buy new tire for that car. Quit lying now. You had to buy new tire for that car, and you had to buy.
I ain't talking about that, Melissa. Stay out of grown man. But you shouldn't even be in here talking about my money. No way.
Your money is our money.
Listen, they said your money is our money. Your money is our money. I mean, I'd almost say that this man probably grew up in this church. What do y'all think? He had to have grown up in this church. There's no way that they would have this much.
Right.
They would feel so entitled to what he has.
They too comfortable talking to him. They way too comfortable.
I mean, the entitlement is wild to me. What do you think, Tim?
Well, I know the end to the video, so
okay. You want to spoil it? All right, Elijah.
Right.
Elijah, let's get back to it. Let's get back to our brother over here. Give him a word.
I see.
I put that money there for you and
now,
me.
the part with me grabbing the collection box, I'm sorry, but some had went in there that belongs to me, and it took everything in me not to go in that
so
box.
What you're saying, you just want it changed.
Exactly. And everybody walking around acting like there's no change to be given.
No.
So, I wanted my change.
Listen, all I had was a 50. All I had was a 50. I was just trying to get 30 back. Listen, guys, don't act like y'all don't know how to change. The money's right there. It's right there. How many people have been at church and have thought about getting change out of the collection plate because they know they didn't have no small bills that they were ready to break away from? Come on, man. I mean, I can't be the only one that said to myself, I was like, man, hold up, man. Geez.
I got change. So I ain't care. So like I said, I got to go out, work hard to make my money. I'm going to give what I want to give. That's it. It ain't up for discussion.
Brother, you're supposed to drop and not pick up.
Yeah. Like,
right.
I ain't listen, and I didn't feel bad because I know I ain't stealing. I ain't taking nothing I didn't put in. No, I'm doing my rights due, which is my change, because it's my money. Like,
oh man, I could imagine the people on that aisle.
People were looking and like, who is it that? Like, I ain't care.
Brother Tim. They were, you know how you're in church and then somebody smacked the person right next to him in the chest. It's like, look at him. Oh man, I'm sweating over here, Elijah. I know you've been in church sweating before, saying, "Oh man, all I got is this 50, man. I'm not ready to part with it today." Oh man, what you think? What you think, Tim? You think you're allowed to get change out of the collection plate?
You should be.
Brother Elijah, you don't get change at the collection plate. What you do?
No, you have to. I've made that mistake before of trying to dig in, and the proper thing to do is to have the usher or whoever's handling the plate to give you change, because you have people coming in and everybody doesn't have the best intentions, and they could be scamming right there in the pulpit and put $1 in and take 50 out and what have you. So you have to have the proper etiquette is to get change from that usher and the person controlling the pot.
Elijah,
so Elijah, I'm gonna ask you this, Elijah.
Hold on.
So what?
He's in the middle of the pew. Listen. You got the whole pew. You in the middle of the pew. How are you gonna get the usher's attention? You gonna get up and go walk to the usher?
No,
you're in the middle of the pew.
Right. If it's inappropriate to get up, wait wait until things die down, and then give your charity.
But what about in a situation where you ask the usher and the usher don't bring you your change? that's the reason why when I did it again, I got my own change.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like touching a hot stove. It's like touching a hot stove. It only takes you one time to learn your lesson. Have your own change ready to go.
Listen, they probably coach the ushers. They say, listen, listen, if Brother Tim tells you guys he wants some change, listen, he can spare 50. Go ahead. Listen. Just take your time. Just focus on the other ones, the ones who are the most in need. But Brother Tim, if Brother Tim says he needs some change, listen, I'll deal with him. I'll work with him. Don't worry about it. And they were sitting up there leaving you hanging, Tim. Oh man, listen, I love it. What's Peter Investor M says is the church it says, does the church like a company CEO? Excuse me. Does the church have a company CEO, the pastor, and a board of directors, the church elders, or operate like an MLM? Yeah, I mean, actually, I think that is, man, because listen. So it's really funny. I don't know,
think it's
Elijah,
some of both.
Right, it's a combination of the two.
Yes,
it is because you know how at the end, y'all know how at the end they say, all the visitors stand up, right?
Right.
And I've been to a church and I'm visiting, and I said, man, I don't want to stand up, right? You stand up. They said, stand up so we can come and welcome you. So, man, you walk to the front, they receive you, and then you go to the back, and then they greet you to say, hey, how you doing? What member are you a guest of? And then they say, hold up, we got a welcome gift for you. They give you something for you to feel obligated with, right? They give you a Bible or something like that. And then now you feel obligated. It's like, oh man, now they gave me this book. Now I got to make sure I come back, because I don't want to sit up here and just come here one time and then they contributed more than I gave to them. I think that it is a recruitment process, because you have to. They want you to get a membership sooner or later. They don't want you to just come as a guest for a long time.
Use what's called the law of reciprocity.
Exactly.
Like you said, they give you something so you feel duty bound and obligated to return the blessing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm at a point right now. Listen, if I'm coming and visiting a church, I'm not standing up as a guest. I'm sorry. I'll just be a silent guest or a secret guest. I'm not getting up because I don't want to go through that obligation. Let me just come there and visit and be done with it. What'd you say, Elijah?
Anonymous.
Pretty much. Let's get back to our brother, man. Our brother's being pinned up back in the corner. Hold up. Let's get back to him.
I wanted my change. Yes, I wasn't finna put no whole $100 and I ain't got but $100 left.
Tell Minister Charles about change in this church.
We don't give change back.
I know it.
All right, hold up. Let me go back. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I had that comment up there. Let's see. Let's hear it again. What they say to our brother.
Change, yes. I wasn't finna put no whole $100 and I ain't got but $100 left.
Tell Minister Charles about change in this church.
We don't give change back.
I know it. Y'all look like y'all don't get change.
I talked to you about that Sunday before last. We don't give change. When you stick it in that box,
I didn't stick it in there.
Well, when your wife stuck it in there.
Well, that ain't my hand.
And
I feel like I got robbed. I started calling the police.
Let me spring something up right now, Brother Terry. That's my sister. Don't be talking to her like that. I don't refuse. I hate that. I've been listening at you talk to her all type of ways. Don't do that no more. You gonna have to speak to me personally.
That's his sister.
See, folks don't say that stuff you do at the house. You come to the God
at the house.
No, that's his
I must be sitting here. It must be look like I'm sitting here doing jumping jacks or something.
Well,
ain't no current me. What you saying to me? That's your sister, but this is my wife. And when I'm the man of mine, I pay the bills of mine. I hate we having this conversation in church.
Hold up, man. Listen. This is getting hairy, Elijah. This is getting hairy. Imagine now. Hold up now. Hold up. All right. So listen. Listen. Can y'all imagine that? Real quick? All right. I don't know how much time you got, but listen. Can y'all imagine that? Here you are talking to the pastor, and then your wife is in his corner more than she is in your corner. Man, yeah. Elijah, it's rough out here. It's exactly like you said. Now the man's not the dominion over his own home.
Right. That's part of the pimpology of the church. The pastor, like I said 20 minutes ago, it's a psychological neurosis and psychosis where 95% of our females are single moms. And so they're being told about this Jesus who loves unconditionally and loves you where you're at and accept you as you are, and being sold a perfect man in a ghetto full of imperfect males. So that's the drawing card, and that's why the church is 90% Black females now. And you bring up an excellent point. The worst part of this show and the church, again, Isaiah 14:13 says Satan owns the church. The worst part of it is the Black female, in hearing these stories about this Jesus, I'm a psychologist, and we call this technique projectionism. They project all these virtues and honors that they hear about Jesus. They project it on the pastor. And so the pastor becomes the surrogate husband for 20, 30, 40, 80, 100, 200 females.
All right. Yeah, you're right. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video. You're right. Here you are being the second hand. All right, Tim. So
no, go ahead, wrap it up.
All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap up this video. We got 45 more seconds.
But you brought it to my attention. You need to let me know when you pull up next time at my house.
When money go in that box, I put that money there for you.
You not need to say nothing else today.
Hey,
to me,
Terry. Now I'm not gonna listen at that no more.
Cause you gave these folk my check stub.
Hold on. Don't do that no more. Please don't do that.
Y'all look alike too.
Yeah, we do. We supposed to. We family.
You'll catch it later on.
Later on. I see we need to speak to each other on a personal thing.
Yeah.
See that.
Yeah. With white beaters on.
So yeah, man. Listen, man. It's rough. It is rough. And can you imagine that? Here you are married to your wife, and your wife is a sister to the pastor, and she has more allegiance to the pastor than she has to her own household. That's just a wild situation. I just can't imagine being in that environment. I can only imagine how hostile it is, how hostile of an environment it is, And she's disrespecting him right there in front of the pastor. I mean, mind you, the pastor is her brother, but I mean, I don't know. That's a hostile situation. What do you think, Tim? Like, could you see yourself in a situation like that?
No, we will be getting a divorce, because the first problem is, and that's why when you asked me earlier, I didn't want to comment, because I knew that was his wife was the brother of the pastor, but that's all levels of disrespect. The fact that she took his W-2s and stuff and showed them. And now that's why they're doing the stuff that they're doing, because they're trying to base it off of what they know of him that she exposed to them. And and the thing about it is a total contradictory, because it goes against biblically how they supposed to be running their household. Because she's now putting the church over his authority over the household, because he's supposed to be the shepherd over his family. And then the church is just to reinforce him being the shepherd over his family spiritually. And it just all types of wrong. And for the church to allow that and not correct her is another issue. Because even if that's her brother or not, right is right, wrong is wrong. So to me, if you would really want to break it down, he ain't no different. Her brother is no different than the guy that we were talking about initially on Whitehead. From the standpoint of you still allowing this dysfunction and sin, and you allow it to go on, but you're saying that you're the pastor of the church. It's just wrong, because when she came in with that stuff, he's supposed to correct her, saying, no, you don't do this behind your husband's back. See, that it's just more dysfunction.
And complete dysfunction, man. And so Elijah, you've told us your stance on it and how you feel about the impacts of the church and marriages in the Black community. So I want to go ahead and wrap up and allow Tim to go ahead and give some closing remarks on this matter. I have the link pinned if anybody else wants to come up. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and close. I thought you guys had some words for our brother Bishop Whitehead. Listen, living the life of opulence, riding in that Cullinan, 800,000. What are your thoughts, Tam? What do you think, man? Do you think that we should feel bad for our brother here, Bishop Whitehead? He has taken $90,000 from a woman who he promised to help get a house. He's supposed to be getting $500,000 from another parishioner. Now, the lady who he took the $90,000 from, she's suing him for $1 million for damages. And the loss of that money from her life savings. And the other gentleman has also accused him of taking the $500,000 from him and forced him he also was forced to give up the $500,000. So the other gentleman had the $500,000 that he was getting ready to lose. And he said that he was forced to give the $5,000 up. And so that's what happened with that gentleman right there. So it's $90,000. So here it is. So $90,000 from one parishioner, right? And then $500,000 from another parishioner. And then he was threatening him into giving the $5,000 for upfront payment. And so he bullied the businessman. He bullied the businessman for $5,000, and then tried to defraud him of far more than that, right? Try to defraud him for $500,000. So I want to know what are your closing remarks that you have in reference to this matter, Tim?
One, I don't feel sorry for him. Two, I agree with what Elijah stated, that it's not him that's the problem, it's the people that's the problem. Because we continue to allow people that we know is not doing right for our community, not doing right by us as individuals, and we continue to stand behind them because we lack discernment, because we don't sit down and take the time to understand ourselves. Because once you sit down, understand yourself, you put in the work, you do due diligence, you start to get a better discernment of just people. And I think that's what the problem is and the challenge is. Elijah said it the best earlier. People are just lazy. That's just it. They do it. They lazy in finances. They lazy with their health. They lazy with their physical state, their mental state. We just won't do the work because the work is too hard. It's easier to just follow something that we don't have to think, so we can then blame them and say it's their fault later. And I say for everyone, continue to go out and do the work. Stop making excuses. It doesn't matter about background. It doesn't matter about financial status. It's about where you are currently at right now, where you at in your current present, so you can start putting in the work so you can have a different outlook for your future. That's what it's about. So if you don't do that, don't be surprised and don't be feeling sorry for nobody, and don't feel sorry for yourself, because you made the decision. You want to be an adult when everything is going good. So be an adult when you made a bad decision. Suck it up, chalk it up, learn from it, build from it, and go forward. That's all I got.
All right, salute. So I appreciate it. What are your thoughts, Elijah? What are your closing remarks? Should we feel bad for our brother Bishop Whitehead, accused of ripping off parishioners? Should we feel bad for him, or should we do we feel like he's going to get his just due?
No, there's a Whitehead is being prosecuted. Black Lives Matter. They're up to be prosecuted. The problem, like Tim said it best. The problem is that we as black folks. The problem in slavery. The problem is we love slavery. We love being mistreated, used, abused, and scammed, and taken advantage of, and taken on a ride. If we didn't love it, we would change it. And why do we love being abused? That's what we need to go into psychologically, because it comes from our self-hatred. We hate ourselves so much that we like it. The thing is, the problem is called, everybody get their pen and paper out, write it down, and look it up. In 1960, we had the Moynihan Report, and it documented how black females were given a choice between having a black man husband taking care of them, or would they rather get on the white man's welfare and public assistance? Well, they chose white men's public assistance and welfare. And this is against nature. Why did they do that? Because of something in psychology called the Stockholm Syndrome. We've been in slavery so much for 500 years that we've caught the worst disease you can catch. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. And in Stockholm Syndrome, that's a situation where a person or people are victims of a bank robbery or a kidnapping or a crime, and they help the person that's victimizing them. They help the kidnapper. They help the robber. And that's the disease that black people suffer from. We hate ourselves so much that we help our enemies. And there was they were asking somebody about the wickedness and horrors of war. And a man made a great quote. I can't remember his name, but he said, 50 million people dead in a war. And his comment was, we looked at the enemy and studied the enemy, and what we found out is the enemy is us.
Yeah. So that's really good.
We as black people are the problem.
Yeah, that's where we have to start. So I appreciate you, brother Elijah, for coming through. We can always count on you to take your jabs at our guy, Deion Sanders, and any other guys who are plaguing the community. But salute to you. Appreciate you coming through, bro.
Any and all other Uncle Tom sellout slave masters like Deion Sanders and Reverend Chicken Wing or Reverend Pigfoot, Reverend Whitehead. Okay.
Oh man. Okay. Salute to you, Elijah. Welcome your brother to the channel, man. We'll see you next time, bro.
All right, family. God bless you and your family, brother.
All right, same to you.
All right, gentlemen. Y'all have a good one.
Later.